Hey Sandeep, welcome to the MasterCard Cup. Just want to give you an opportunity here to view your swing at regular speed. We'll let that play on through. We'll put you back in your dress position and we'll go ahead and take a look at a few things for you. So while we got you back here in your dress position, let's take a look at your posture. Spine's nice and straight and on a nice tilt. Legs come down into a very nicely unlocked position. Your arms hang down nice and naturally off your tilted spine, and your club works out to the ball. So you achieve a really good posture here in association with excellent balance. Looks great. Let's go ahead and pay attention to your alignment. We can see your feet running in this direction here. Carry that out towards the intended target. Theoretically, your club face is supposed to run parallel. Your feet parallel lines on camera would have an appearance to converge. Under that scenario, we can see that you're sort of set up maybe down the left side, left edge of the fairway. Okay? Now you could be accustomed to setting up a little bit left and starting the ball there and then just softly sort of maybe fading that ball back towards the intended target. And we'll see here in a few minutes exactly what you do with your golf swing. Let's go ahead and do a little split screen comparison between you and Jordan Spieth. As Jordan initiates his takeaway, creates good shoulder rotation, bring the arms and hands back as well as the club. You want to see the club coming back on plane directly along the red line. In the early stages of the golf swing, we also want to create some good wrist hinge into play, where we're going to transition the club head from currently being below and in front of our hands to getting above and behind our hands, all the while keeping the shaft of the club on the red line. From here, we're now going to work the club from red up towards the blue-yellow V zone. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we want to have the left arm in the golf club either on the yellow line, in between the blue-yellow V zone, or physically up on blue as we see with Jordan Spieth. We also want to create full shoulder rotation, and we want to do this about a very stable right leg, all the while maintaining our posture that we achieved at address. Let's watch you initiate your takeaway here. Draw your hands back really nicely. Club's coming back on a really nice swing plane with good shoulder rotation. Everything looks wonderful through here. Get some wrist hinge into play. Club head's transitioning above and behind your hands. Beautiful. Let's work this golf club up to the top of your backswing now. When we finally set the club at the top of the backswing, we can see they have excellent shoulder rotation, stable right side. You maintain the posture that you achieved at address. Your left arm does have a tendency of maybe getting a little bit steep, very similar to Jordan, so I don't have an issue with where you are right now, as long as you can bring this golf club back down onto plane and on the red line to attack the ball. Your arms do compress and you do overswing a little. You can see that the club is going past parallel and reappearing past your body here. So there is a little bit of a breakdown with your arms at the top of the swing and also with the golf club. So we may like to improve that just to keep you in a stronger position, make it easier for you to come back into impact from on plane if you're not. Let's go ahead and watch Jordan create his transition back into the golf ball. At this point in time, with our energy stored on our right foot, we simply want to now move that energy from the right foot to the left. We want to fire the knees and the hips laterally to the target, unwind the core, and fire the hands. In doing so, we want to make sure we're bringing the golf club from wherever we set it within that blue-yellow V zone, that we're bringing the golf club back down onto red, which is exactly what we see here with Jordan Spieth. We can see the club returning back to plane. The other thing we want to observe at this stage of the golf swing is the relationship between the lead forearm and the golf club. We refer to this as a backwards check mark, which simply means the club head right now is remaining above and behind his hands coming into the hitting zone. And this is what's going to allow him to create a lot of power in his golf swing, aside from the fact that he's also going to hit the ball straight because the club has returned back to plane, as we already stated. And this is a main criteria in order to produce straight golf shots. Let's go ahead and watch you create your transition back into the ball here. Unfortunately, we have an over-the-top move there. So your hands travel down blue. As your hands come over the top, that's going to influence the golf club. It's going to be very difficult, if impossible, to get that club to return back to plane. So at this point in time, we can take a look at the relationship between your lead forearm and your golf club. We have your backwards check mark, so creating some power in your golf swing won't be an issue. But what we can see is that the club is not returning back to plane. So as we continue to track the club head coming in the ball, this club's going to continue to move in steep and out in front of your hands. So let's go to the next frame, and we can see the club here. Next frame, we can see the club here. So we just sort of connect the dots. This will give you a really good visual as to the exact descending plane that we were coming into the ball from. Yet with Jordan, we saw that his club returned back to plane here. That would have been your frame right here, and it's nowhere close to plane. At this point in time, we can also track Jordan's club coming into the ball, and it comes into the ball directly from the red line. And as I stated before, this is what produces straight golf shots in accordance to our alignment. Lastly, assuming that the club face squares up via having a good grip. Seeing that the downswing planes are vastly different, we can now take a look at the pass of the club. We can see Jordan's club is inside the ball, expands out to make contact, and moves through in a nice natural subtle arc. Your club is stuck outside the ball, drops down and across to make contact. So your golf club is moving on this swing path. Therefore, if you happen to square the club face up to this path, you will pull the ball in this direction. So it's the direction of where you're swinging and also the direction of where you're aiming, because we'd stated that you're aimed sort of down the left edge of the fairway. At this point in time, you better leave the face a little bit open to impart a little bit of left to right spin. You can hit a little bit of a fade, and the shot won't hurt you. And I'm sure that's a kind of golf shot you sort of see when you do find the intended target and hit the ball well. My concern here is if you square the club face up a little too much, what's going to happen is you're going to draw the ball too far left. Also, if we leave the club face too open, what will happen is you'll block the ball a little bit further right of this, incredibly, even considering we're swinging a little bit left. Obviously the face was open at that point, and now we're going to create a little bit too much of a block slice. So the end result of your golf shot is dictated based on the timing of the club face. Because the club is attacking the ball from slightly outside, striking the ball and moving to the inside, if we over-release the club, it initially follows red, then follows blue. If we time it perfectly, it'll follow red and the shot will turn out. If we leave that club face too open, it's following yellow and we're going to lose the ball to the right. Also at point of impact here, I just want to pay attention to your right foot. Let's see if you have any continued activity through to the finish. You do. So the heel comes up, almost get up on your toe. You're carrying yourself through to a pretty good finish. If you could sort of get up on the toe of your right foot a little bit better, count the spikes in that shoe, fully get your weight to your left side, that would be ideal. But at least you're getting enough footwork that you're actually carrying yourself through to a pretty good finishing position. Overall, we see some nice athletic characteristics with your golf swing. Your hands work really well. They come back and they fire through. Your core works well. You coil, you uncoil. You've got decent enough footwork that allows you to get through to a finish. Your posture, your balance is amazing at address. Your alignment's barely off, only a little bit to the left. But really the biggest thing in your golf swing is this slight over-the-top move. So when we get the golf club to the top of your backswing, unfortunately this over-the-top move right here, coming into the ball steep, causes the club to attack from outside to inside. And at that point in time, you've got to manipulate that club face to help you find that intended target. Okay? Anyways, if at any point in time you want to revise any of these or fine-tune any of these aspects in your golf game, I'm over at Glen Abbey in Oakville. Be happy to structure a little program for you. Also, if you're involved with any golf tournaments at all, you guys are looking for a unique gift to provide your guests, feel free to reach out and be happy to discuss my swing analysis services. Anyways, hope you had a fabulous day and hope you enjoyed getting an opportunity to see your swing on video. Take care.